Okay, Putin's War, Reclaiming the Soviet Empire in Eastern Europe by Tai Bomba. Finished the Russian setup. Generally, I put the normal units, the maneuver units, on the border, ready to go on the offensive, and left garrisons in the cities in the rear of the Russian Federation territory. Right away, the first impression is, especially after playing Putin Moves South, is that there isn't going to be enough going on here. But of course I'll wait and see about that. That's an initial impression. Garrison units are different than in Putin Moves South. Yeah, I think I like what Miranda did with the garrison units in Putin Moves South, but here in Putin's War, here's the idea. Every city and victory city on the map, so Brest, for example, is a city. Minsk here is a victory city. Always have in it a regular unit or a garrison unit, of course. Putin Moves South has that different, but never both at once. So that's what's unusual. So I think what they're saying is Brest here is in Belarus. So if this operational command west were in Brest, the garrison unit would come off. But since the operational command is on the border there, then you get a NATO side garrison there. At the end of any move or combat action, if a city or victory city is empty of regular units, immediately place a garrison unit in it with the controlling side's color showing upward. So you have to remember the controlling side, if it's not obvious. Whenever regular units move ends in a friendly controlled city or victory city hex, remove that place's garrison unit. So likewise, if this operational command moved into Brest, you'd remove the garrison unit. So whenever a regular unit is in a city or victory city, the friendly garrison unit you'd otherwise have in that hex is considered to be fully subsumed within the regular unit, but without contributing any step or combat factor values to the occupying unit. Whenever you move a regular unit out of a city or victory city, the friendly garrison unit is immediately and automatically replaced in it at no cost in action points. That process can go on indefinitely for both sides in all cities and victory cities on the map. Garrison units never attack. They defend normally, except they may not retreat after combat. A defending Russian garrison unit may make use of the SERP, the significant ethnic Russian population bonus, if it's otherwise normally available in its hex. So how many yep, okay, so there are, so Kaliningrad is a SERP hex, Riga is a SERP hex, Tallinn is a SERP hex. So actually there, Odessa is, actually there are a lot. So let's see, yep, there's a good number of cities, victory cities, that are SERP hexes. This is Transnistria here. It's one hex. It has automatically, it's set up the OGT here, which is an operational group. Operational group Transnistria. But even though Transnistria is a SERP hex, it's not a city or a victory city hex. So the next rule is Intermarium Alliance. Despite the fact that the Allied players' starting units must set up within their own respective countries, so that's like the Polish unit here, set up in Polish territory, Lithuania, Belarus, Latvia, etc. Once play has begun, all of them are free to move across the map as other circumstances permit. There are no nationality restrictions in regard to Allied movement or combat. So after it starts, I think all the nationality differences are for interest only. I guess it doesn't have any gameplay effects that I can figure out so far. So important here is how to win, because this is not exactly the same as Putin moves south. The Russians are pretty clearly on the offensive. NATO's defending. So it'd be nice to know what the Russians need to do to win, but it's definitely important to know what NATO does to win, other than, I guess, stop the Russians from getting what they're after. In general, the Russian player is attempting to win offensively by controlling enough critical territory west of its start line, while also preserving enough of Russia's proper territorial integrity to convince the Allies to give up on the war. Draws are possible. So right away, they don't have objective hexes like in Putin moves south. Actually, I missed that, but let's see. Reckoning victory and defeat. Victory and defeat are reckoned based on the control status of the victory cities. Okay, so it's all about the victory cities. Victory cities are the ones that have the building cluster pattern. Otherwise, cities just have the plain black square. So it's all of these. So it's Odessa, Chisinau, Kaliningrad, Vilnius, Riga, Tallinn, Minsk, Kiev, and that's it. So about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7. 8. I count 8. Control status of the victory cities on the map at the end of turn 10. Like Putin moves south, this has a set number of turns, 10 altogether. If at that time the Russian player controls 6 or more victory cities, he has won the game. So if there are 8, if I counted correctly, and there are 8, then the Russians need 75%, 3/4 or more of them. He has won the game. If the Russian player controls only 4 or 5 victory cities at that time, the match ends in a draw. If the Russian player controls fewer than 4 cities, the Allied player has won that match. Okay, at the start of the game, the Russian player already controls 1 victory city. That's Kaliningrad. So let me see if that's right. So under NATO control, Tallinn, Riga, Vilnius, yes. Minsk, yes. Kiev, Odessa. Yeah, Odessa. Chisinau. Yep. Okay, so it is 1. Allied control of Russian cities when reckoning victory and defeat. Subtract 1 from the Russian total for every city inside Russia proper. The Russian Federation that ends for every city. Not just victory cities. Okay, so inside Russia, how many cities do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like about 6. Yeah. Oh, okay. So garrison units are sufficient to establish and maintain control of their hexes in this regard. Okay. Alright, so the NATO player wants to take the cities inside Russian Federation territory to offset any victory cities that the Russians take control of. No sudden death. Alright, so that's it. Turn sequence. It's actually a little different than Putin moves south. So talk about that next.